Hey, what's up, PokeMoshPit? How you guys doing? This is Eternal. Most of you may recognize me from Pokemon Online or Smogon. It's been a while since I submitted a new video to PokeMoshPit, so hopefully you guys like this battle. It's a battle against PokeAimMD, aka Joey, who is also a familiar face around here. We had this battle not too long ago when Joey asked me for a battle for fun. I gladly accepted the challenge and really wanted to try out my team that I just created. It's a team centered around my trusty dog, Stoutland. So this is a story of a boy and his dog playing Pokemon. So without further ado, from the team preview you guys can see my team. And as you can see, my team is fully centered around Stoutland, with the rest of the team acting as defensive supporters. My Tyranitar is the Stealth Rock supporter, Skarmory is my Spiker, Roserade is my Toxic Spiker, and Sleep Inducer. Gyarados is my defensive beast with Roar to phase, and Blissey is as my Wish supporter. Joey's team is more of a standard Sandstorm team with Landorus and Wash acting as his Volt Switch and U-turn combo. Terrakion is a beast, and that's gonna be a big problem for my team because I have nothing to take on a Choice Banded Stone Edge. I just realized this weakness because I just recently made this team, haven't really tested it much, so this means I have to play cautiously against that thing. His Skarmory is also another problem because most of my team is physical and only two Pokemon that can harm it is my Fire Blast from Tyranitar and Hidden Power Fire from Roserade. Not really too reliable to taking down Skarmory. But I do have two taunt users, Gyarados and my own Skarmory, to stop the opposing Skarmory from setting up on me. Entry hazards are a big problem for my team as well if I allow them to set up. So let's start the battle. So he knows that I have Roserade and Blissey, two pokes that heavily wall his Rotom Wash, so I didn't expect him to have the balls to lead off with this Scrotum. Nice pun there. So I sent him my Blissey because it's a fat bulky special wall and it totally walls Rotom Wash, but he Volt switches, takes the switch advantage, goes to his Terrakion, and I'm like, shit, if Terrakion is Choice Banded, it has the potential right now to 2 HKO my Skarmory with either Stone Edge or Close Combat. So I'm just gonna protect here just to scout and see what he has in mind. And he goes for the Stone Edge, so I have to go to my Skarmory because that's the only Pokemon that can take Stone Edge the best, as my whole team is weak to Rock type. So thank God it wasn't Choice Banded, it actually took Life Orb Recoil, so now I can recover back with Roost without worrying about getting knocked out by Terrakion. He goes to his Rotom Wash, takes the switch advantage again pretty nicely, and I'm like, shit, if I go to, I have to go to Blissey, cause if I go to Roserade, it's just gonna get easily U-turned by his Landorus, and as well as my Roserade lacking instant recovery unlike Blissey. But he goes to his Tyranitar this time, which is probably obvious that he's gonna set up Stealth Rock right here. So I'll take this opportunity and switch to my Roserade so I can render one of his Pokemon useless with Sleep Powder later on. And he obviously goes for the Stealth Rock and hoping that I don't miss Sleep Powder because I tend to miss that a lot for some reason. More than 75% of course. So yeah, good thing it didn't miss. And I've rendered his Tyranitar quite useless, but it doesn't really matter. It was a smart play on his part, letting Tyranitar take the fall, because it's not gonna do much other than setting up Stealth Rock. And I'm gonna go for Toxic Spikes here, but he goes to his Landorus, which is pretty risky in my opinion, because I could have easily gone for Leaf Storm as well, but I had to go for Toxic Spikes because his Terrakion is very threatening. So I'm going to go to my Skarmory because it walls the hell out of Landorus. But he's going to take the switch advantage again and go to his Rotom Wash. So I got pretty annoyed because I'm not making any progress. So I'm just going to go to Roserade this time to bait his Landorus. As if I went to Blissey, he's just going to take advantage and go to his Terrakion. I don't want that. So I'm hoping that he doesn't go for Earthquake on my Roserade. Pretty sure he's going to go with U-turn, because if he goes for the Earthquake, he's going to allow my Skarmory to set up a layer of spikes. So yeah, he goes for the U-turn, and he's going to go to Latios here to take the obvious Leaf Storm. It's going to do a nice amount of damage. It did 43% onto that Latios. It's pretty nice. It weakened it nicely. So this is gonna allow me to switch to my Tyranitar. I'm gonna save my Roserade for later as a sacrifice to take switch initiative against this Terrakion. Surf only did 28%, so that tells me that it's not choice spec. It could be expert belt. So I'm gonna take the opportunity to set up Stealth Rock first and then Pursue. But he gets a critical hit, and I'm like, dang, that hurt. But it's a good thing I still have my Blissey to wall it, so it's not a big deal. And again, I'm not gonna let my Tyranitar die so easily when I can easily switch to Blissey to take the Surf and recover. Tyranitar will be helpful later to serve as a sacrifice for me to taking switch advantage. So here's a pro tip for you guys: just because a Pokemon is at low health or dies the next time it comes in due to entry hazards doesn't make that Pokemon completely useless. This is one of the biggest mistakes many players make. There is a big benefit. If you can save one of your Pokemon, then you should. You can later use that Pokemon to serve as a sacrifice to take switch initiative against your opponent. Taking switch initiative is very important. It allows you to take control of the game. So now I'm expecting him to roost after taking damage from the recoil from his Brave Bird, but instead he goes for the spikes, which wasn't a bad idea looking at my team because I'm really weak as hell to entry hazards. Yeah, that's why instead of relying on a spinner, I rely on defensive taunt users such as Impish, Gyarados, and Skarmory to take on opposing stall. But his team is a Volt turning team with Stall and Terrakion, which are pretty big threats. Now he sends in his Rotom to pressure me again into switching. So I have to go for the switch, obviously. I don't really want to lose my Gyarados. The Intimidate and bulkiness is going to be helpful against his physical attackers. He makes a really nice double switch play here, probably expecting me to switch to Roserade to sacrifice it and take the switch initiative. But that's not gonna save him. I still have the switch advantage, and that right there proves how big of a role my Roserade at 12% health with rocks and spikes up on the field did. So Skarmory is a huge threat, as I've said already. My main sweeper is Stoutland, as the team is centered around him. So as you can see, my plan is to weaken the shit out of his Skarmory and take down Terrakion so I can sweep with Stoutland. Now I'm just gonna weaken it with Waterfall while Skarm also takes damage from this Brave Bird recoil. So it's looking cool. I'm weakening this Skarmory very well. Now my Gyarados is at a pretty low health, only 34%, but and Stealth Rock is also up in the field, but I'm not gonna let it die after this from this Mosh. I'm actually gonna save it because I already have Tyranitar at low health. So instead of letting Gyarados take the hit, I'm just gonna sacrifice Tyranitar here so I can save my Gyarados, and use the ability Intimidate later on his offensive Pokemon, Terrakion or Lendoris. Now I'm going to send in Stoutland safely, take the switch initiative as well, and finish off this Rotom Wash. So this is really looking good. And now he's going to send in his Skarmory thinking I'm choice banned, but I'm not. My dog actually has the item Expert Belt, so that was a great bluff. My dog is a great poker player. Now, one thing that sucks about Stoutland is that it can't learn Earthquake or a good fighting move, so it's a big problem handling Tyranitars, Terrakions, or Heatrans. So I'm going to save my dog, and here I'm going to use my Gyarados that I just saved to weaken this Terrakion with the ability Intimidate. So that was really good. It served a good purpose there. And yeah, he's also gonna take damage from the poison, so the toxic orbs were pretty beneficial. And now I can just safely send in Skarmory and just I'm gonna roost here because I want to be at good health, because the next time it's gonna come in, it's gonna be doing a lot more damage. I don't want it to 2 HKO my Skarmory. So just gonna go to Blissey here because it walls Latios very well. He's gonna go for the Thunderbolt. It's not gonna do anything, and I'm just gonna recover now. And seeing that Latios is not gaining any recovery or anything, it's probably Choice Scarf or Expert Belt, but Expert Belt's Surf did not really do that much on Tyranitar, so I'm guessing it's probably a Choice Scarf Latios. He should have gone with the trick there if he had the item trick, because it was pretty obvious that I would switch to Blissey. So now I'm just going to protect, gain back my HP from the Wish, and the Sandstorm is going to finish off this Latios. So it's looking good now. Its score is 3-3. And he's most likely going to send in his Terrakion now. Yeah. And I only have a Skarmory and Stoutland. I'm not gonna switch out to my Skarmory because it's just too risky. I don't want to lose it. It's my main wall against Terrakion, and Stoutland can't really revenge it unless I can weaken the Terrakion as well as weaken its defenses from it using close combat. So that's what I went for. And now I'm going to send in Skarmory and finish the Terrakion off with the Brave Bird here, I believe. No, actually I'm going to Roost back up because I want to be at good health. And Terrakion is just going to die away from the poison damage nonetheless. So it's best for me to just Roost back up and not cripple my Skarmory because he, as you guys recall, he has Landoris. So I really need my Skarmory to wall Landoris as well, because I'm not too sure if Expert Belt's Ice Fang would OHKO his Landoris at the range it is at the moment, which is, I think, yeah, full health. So yeah, probably won't. So I just want to cripple this Landoris now. So that's what I'm going to go for. As he's going to go for the Stone Edge. Only did 26% in the Sandstorm. So you could just see that how beastly Skarmory is, taking Stone Edge really well, a boosted Stone Edge from Sand Power. And I'm just going to keep roosting and spiking because I want to weaken his Tyranitar, because Stoutland has no good ground or fighting type move to harm Tyranitar. So I just want to weaken the Tyranitar, take down the Landoris with Skarmory, and then finish the Tyranitar off, hopefully with Stoutland. So what I'm trying to do right now is just set up 3 layers of spikes and just PP stall out his Stone Edge, because once he's out of Stone Edge, I could safely switch out to Stoutland to take the switch initiative on his Tyranitar switch, instead of me having to switch out to Stoutland from Skarmory, because if I do switch out on his sleeping Tyranitar, then I would already give his Tyranitar 1 free turn to wake up. So here, turn 40, he's almost out of Stone Edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that was his last Stone Edge right there. So I counted them all, and that was his 8th Stone Edge. So he's out of Stone Edge. So I figured I could switch to Stoutland on this turn, as he dies from the struggle, as you ran out of Stone Edge. But instead, he goes for Hidden Power Ice now, and that caught me off guard. But I was like, phew, because it was very unlikely that he would have gone with Earthquake on the Skarmory, so it was a pretty safe switch for me nonetheless to go to Stoutland on the Hidden Power Ice. And now, yeah, now I think I've lost because Tyranitar walls the hell out of Stoutland. Stoutland can't really do much with Ice Fang, but I get really lucky with 2 critical hits from Ice Fang. Yeah, this is pretty sad for Joey, because he had a really good chance of winning this battle if it wasn't for the crit. But I do feed my dog rocks for breakfast, so that came in handy. Them Fruity Pebbles. Hopefully better luck next time, bro, and good game. So I hope you guys liked the battle, and you guys should really try out Stoutland more. It's a pretty cool Pokemon to use, especially now that Excadrill is Uber. Now before I go, I'm gonna announce some awesome stuff. First, I've created a fun interactive Pokemon competitive battling guide for aspiring new competitive players. I've spent a tremendous amount of time making this guide happen, so I hope you guys try it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Just click on the video on the left. On the right is the video that introduces you to the first official Pokemon Online World Cup tournament. It's going to be a very awesome tournament, playable in Gen 5 OU, Ubers, UU, RULU, and NU tiers. We're looking for as many people as possible to join this tournament, so represent your country and join. And don't forget to check out the Pokemon Online YouTube channel. It's an awesome channel with a lot of high quality competitive battling guides. We have a lot of familiar faces such as PokeAimMD, Shofu, NBZ, The Flaming Spade, Sucker Free Jessica, Wild Chase, King Daddy, D-Mac, and many more who will be helping us out. So yeah, definitely check it out. That's all, and have a great day. Peace.